not the beast! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire!
Put the bunny back in the box.
Every movie Nick Cage does never is enough for us. You don't want to view it again, but we do it for our fans. Maybe when we watch The Rock, he'll get a thumbs up from Brock. But guess what? It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May.
You know, I don't really know that song very well, so I think I was a little off there in the middle, but it's good enough. I was always a Backstreet Boys fan myself, but anyway, we'll get into it.
Obviously. I'm more of an O-Town guy, personally.
Sure. 98 degrees. Hey, welcome to the We Gauge Cage podcast, where we watch every Nicolas Cage movie ever made, from worst to best, according to your IMDb ratings, in an effort to determine whether or not he is a good enough actor, because neither of us are familiar enough with his work. Two enoughs in there that time. I'm your host, Brian Ambrosius, and with me, as always, the shoe to my foot, Brock Kircher.
That
in
means
this, yep, that's
I
Brock.
envelop you, baby.
Yep, you do.
I'm all around.
And you stink.
You stink. You make me stink.
This week, we watched Rape, a Love Story, but they actually called it Vengeance, a Love Story. The novel is Rape, a Love Story. Vengeance, a Love Story. It was made in 2015?
Kind of like Precious, based on the novel Push by Sapphire. This is Vengeance, based on the novel Rape.
Wait, it's from 2017, isn't it?
It's from 2017, correct.
Yeah, so this is a new one. And we'll get into it.
It's a new one.
Yeah, but like I was saying, that was always more of a Backstreet Boys song, and I did not realize... I had to sing this song just because it's May. That's the only reason I picked it.
It's gonna be May.
Yeah, it's April 29th right now, so exactly, it works perfectly. But I was always a Backstreet Boys fan myself.
Yeah, I was... I had Backstreet Boys. That was like one of my first albums.
Which one?
So, one of my very...
Backstreet's Back?
I believe... I can't pinpoint an exact, but I know that at one point when I was like pre-America, so back when I was in Japan, and I think I was probably like 10 years old, I owned 3 albums that I can like remember specifically. I owned a Jock Jams that had like the big Jock Jam songs that everybody knows. So I had a Jock Jams. I had Will Smith's Big Willie Style.
Nice.
And I had Backstreet Boys Millennium, I think, is their one.
That's the second one. That's the one with I Want It That Way, which is our go-to for karaoke.
Exactly.
My first CD I ever got, because I remember when I was younger, like recording songs off the radio onto like a cassette tape and stuff.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
And I remember like I had Faith Hill's This Kiss. I had Third Eye... Right?
What?
I had Third Eye Blind, Third Eye Blind's I'll Never Let You Go. I don't remember. I had 2 other songs I know for sure. But the first CD I ever got was Destiny's Child, the one with I'm a Survivor and stuff on it.
What is happening right now?
Yep.
What is happening?
Those are some of my first CDs and stuff.
Oh, man.
Hey, but we actually have a pretty loaded podcast planned today, so we're not really gonna banter too much.
Oh, you mean 105-minuter?
Probably.
Or however long that last one was.
I think we're going to talk about this movie for a long time, but
coming fresh off those 2 hours of The Last Guy.
That was your fault.
Yak. Yeah. Hey, have you paid the ghost yet? Yep. They're going to shut off the lights if you don't pay the ghost soon. So.
Okay, but that episode actually inspired me because you insist on eating in every freaking podcast.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We're going to turn it into a game.
False. This is all satire. This is all slander.
And it's perfect because just like my song, this game is called Guess What's in May.
Guess what's in May.
And
you don't know what's in May.
Because people love mouth sounds. We each picked out 3 foods. And we're going to chew them into the mic. And the person on the other end is going to try to guess what we're chewing on.
Yeah, we're gonna put some stuff in our mouth, and then we're just gonna let that other person, kind of take a little listen here.
I gotta take my Invisalign out for this. This is serious stuff.
And get a little guess as to what is in my mouth.
Don't I come up with the best games?
Yeah, this is
you
a
know what?
Brian. This
If
is a
you
Brian
would-
Ambrosius special, everybody.
If you would stop eating on mic, I wouldn't have to come up with games like this.
I'm a growing boy.
All right, who
I'm
wants
a
to go
shrinking
first?
boy, actually. I don't know if you've heard or not, but pretty good. I'm rocking this shark shirt. A lot of guys like to go bird shirts. I go fish shirts.
You're like Winston from New Girl.
Yeah, I've officially transitioned into a 1X instead of a 2X. I'm
Nice.
getting there, baby. I'm living my best life, being my best self.
Dude, you're like almost the same shirt size as me. I'm a large.
Almost
Okay,
enough.
Do you want to guess first or chew first?
I want to guess first.
All right. So
Since I know that you've been missing out on putting
let me
stuff
get
in
one
your
of
mouth,
mine. And what I need you to do,
is hide my eyes like a kindergartner playing peekaboo
Okay.
or an infant.
you ready? I'm gonna start chewing here.
I'm so ready. Oh, that sounds crunchy. I'm getting a little crunch. I'm getting that they're like a
That's all I got.
bite-sized. I'm getting like a bite-sized crunch. So I'm gonna guess that it's either a cracker or a chip. And you seem to go through them pretty quickly here. You're not chewing anymore. So I'm guessing that they dissolve pretty quick. Oh boy. I'm just gonna go with like a Ritz, a baked Ritz.
It was airborne.
What the fuck? What is an airborne? Please explain to the people what this is, because you're holding up a bottle like I should know
It says-
what an airborne is. I
Also,
got
it
a
says-
slight chalky.
So they're pills.
Okay.
And it says, I'll point this out. It says no water needed. So Nick Cage would like these.
Cheers.
It
Cheers.
helps support your immune system and gives you a blast of vitamin C. I think you're not supposed to take more than 3 times no more than 12 tablets per day. Oh, good. So I only took 3.
Yeah.
But
So
there, I'm
you're
gonna have a
safe.
good immune system now for this.
I mean, but you're also a grown adult man, so you should be able to handle more than a normal
all right.
person of
So you didn't get that one.
daily
All right.
supplements. I could have eaten my daily supplement pills, but I do that in the morning after my poo.
I'm actually gonna turn you up a little bit so I
After
can
my
get a
morning
good listen
BM?
to this
Okay.
chewing.
Okay. Ready?
I'm
I'm
ready.
gonna duck my head below so you can't see me put it in my mouth.
Oh, those are chips. Those are chips 100%. And you know what? Knowing you, I think I'm actually gonna go sour cream and onion chips.
Wow. That's they are baked Ritz sour cream and onion chips.
Oh, so
Sour
right?
cream and onion.
I mean,
You
those are
were
chips.
About as close as you could get.
I would say.
They're baked Ritz crackers.
This is the beauty of living with you for 4 years and kind of getting
Yeah.
to know you a little bit. All
What I
right.
like. Yeah, but you're a completely different person now because I didn't know you were chewing on airborne.
I was actually going to get Tums. But
Look,
the
you've
Tums that
improved
we have,
yourself since you found a woman.
the Tums are like
Apparently,
the
I was
ones
holding you back.
the ones that we have are like really soft and like chewy, so like I didn't feel like they would go on the mic very well, so I just
Oh,
looked
are
for
they
some
like
different
Lady
pills.
Tums? Like
Yeah,
the
they are
Lady
kinda.
Doritos? Like the
Yep.
Lady Doritos that they had to have that were like going to be soft and chewy because the regular Doritos are too hard?
All right. Are you ready for this one?
Yes!
Plug your eye or close your eyes. Here we
Plug
go.
my eyes! Oh, I'm getting that you're like biting into something. So it's either a carrot. I'm getting like a vegetable, like a good, real vegetable feel. It's either carrot or celery, and I know that you don't eat healthy, and I'm guessing that you don't like celery. You never ate celery once, I don't think, whenever we lived together. So I'm guessing it's not celery, and I didn't get that string from a celery. You're biting into something, and it's a vegetable. But what kind of vegetable would you be biting into?
You
It's
want
not
one
corn.
more? You want
Yeah.
one more? All
One
right.
more. So this is something. This is one more bite into something. You wouldn't just raw dog an onion on me just to throw me off. I'm gonna guess it's just an apple.
Cucumber.
Oh, fuck. I was so close. A cucumber.
I think I would have gave it to you if it was.
I think if I would have heard like a nice little like a little, it would have
I don't
given
know.
that apple.
I think if you would have said carrot, I would have gave it to you. But apple, All right, you get half a point because it was a fruit. Or a vegetable.
It was a vegetable. All right.
I knew you might get that one, but I just thought it might be kind of fun.
Cucumber.
All right, so you got a half point. I got 1 point. I'm ready for your next one.
That's good stuff. You getting it? You
Well-
getting all that saliva?
Do you have more?
That was just 2.
Oh my god, are you done?
No.
Let's get one more.
You need me to swallow it?
Let's get one more. Do you have one more?
I only had 2.
Is that it? You're done?
Yep.
Oh shit, this one's hard. But again, I was getting kind of like a vegetable-y vibe, but it was like a soft vegetable.
As a bonus, I'm gonna wash it down with a passion fruit Hefeweizen.
Oh shit. This one's hard. Okay, yeah.
If I would have done that, would you have guessed that I was drinking a beverage?
I would have said a beer or something probably.
Would have been right.
Shit, I can't believe you only got 2 of them. So that's kind of strange that you only have 2 of them.
Ooh,
but it was
this
like
is
kind of
good.
soft.
This is offensively delicious, as it says on the can.
And I think it was like my mind is going to like a green bean type thing, but like that doesn't sound right. Like it was a little softer than that.
Oh, this is cute.
I am gonna go with. You know what? Screw it. Let's go with it. Green bean.
It is like the exact opposite of a green bean, bud.
What is it?
Fucking marshmallow.
What?
It was just a big marshmallow.
Well, how did you say you only had 2? You got a whole bag there.
I'm not gonna reopen the bag. They're stale.
Come on.
They are pretty stale.
All right. Close your eyes.
Oh, is this big?
I don't know.
Is
Ready?
it a biggie? Do we got a biggie though? Oh, these are like peanuts. Just gonna go for it. You got some
Uncooked
peanuts.
rice.
Uncooked rice? What kind of a monster are you?
I wanted to do uncooked pasta, but we didn't have any pasta. Leah
I thought
cooked it
you
all,
were
so I
gonna,
grabbed some rice.
like bite into an onion on the last one, and I thought that was like the limits of your monstrosity.
So you got
What did I
0.5
know?
points. I got 1. I won this game, but I want to do your last one. Let's hear it.
Okay.
See, now that's you're in the same boat as me again. Like that honestly almost sounds again like a cucumber, but it could be celery. It could be a carrot. I'm gonna. You know what? I think we picked out the same thing. I'm gonna go with a cucumber.
Chocolate covered mango.
What?
Chocolate covered mango.
Do you have a picture of it? Do you have an extra one? Let me see it. I want to see what it looks like.
I don't. Oh. We got the bag.
No. So
Dark
Okay.
chocolate covered mango. I think there's one more in
see,
here.
I think we had different ideas. Like I was going for things that are super crunchy.
Yeah, I was gonna go crunchy, but I literally just reached into the cupboard and picked out whatever was there. I could have gone beef jerky, but
I also pulled out an ice cube and pretzel.
ice cube? You're gonna bite into an ice cube?
Yes.
You are like a fucking super villain.
I didn't know which ones I wanted to go with. I thought the cucumber might be a good one to try to get you with. So okay, that was guess what's in May.
Guess what's in May?
Let us know if you liked it or not. Probably not. Okay.
So
Now
you
I
know
got,
what
like,
that
little
you know what
chunks
that
of
can
rice in
do?
my mouth.
That attracts a lot of ladies, I bet. Seeing what we can put in our mouths.
Hold on.
Speaking of ladies,
Oh
and
shit! I knew you
attraction,
were gonna say that, but I wanted to say one thing.
what?
You said that I've never eaten celery like in my life. Apparently,
That I've seen you. We just never had celery in our apartment.
celery. I've told you this story before. Celery is actually how I found out that I'm allergic to a lot of vegetables. Because one day at work, I was eating some celery and like carrots and broccoli, you know, like the veggie tray. And I ate the celery and my lips got all puffy, my throat got scratchy. And I was like, but how can I be allergic to celery? It's 95% water. Have we talked about this on the podcast already?
You said something that you ate was like 98% water, and I was like, if it was 98% water, it would just be water.
And we asked Siri, and it was celery. I did tell this story then. So yeah, you already knew I ate celery, but I am actually allergic to a lot of vegetables until you cook them and you like get that pollen off of them. And celery is one of the main ones. And apparently the allergic reaction to it is even like comparable to being allergic to peanuts if you're super allergic to it.
You're such a madman that I wouldn't put it past you that you would literally like poison yourself just to prove a point in a game.
Oh, I would have eaten
just
celery
to
if we
throw
had
me
it.
off.
Okay, so yeah, the ladies would like that one.
So, speaking of ladies and attraction, one thing that I was going to ask you on the last podcast, but I figured I would save it till this podcast because we got a little time yet. We bag on Nick for his looks, and we talk about the women that he sleeps with in these movies that are way out of his league. So, I thought, since we've done like our top 5 list with movies, I thought since we used to, a big topic of debate when we used to live together and be friends going throughout high school and middle school and whatnot was our list, right? I think everybody kind of
this
has
true?
a list. It's either...
This was a big topic of debate? I don't think so.
It came up a bunch. It was
I
kind of
guess.
something that like we used to kind of update regularly and check in on each other with, because we're just two horny little baby boys, you know. It happens. We got hormones running through us. It's a whole thing. So we used to talk about like our top 5 lists of like celebrity crushes. I know some people say like, you know, once we're married, because we're both married to lovely, beautiful, intelligent, just sparkling,
Cherubic. Effervescent.
Just beautiful wives. Since we're both married now, like sometimes they transition into like your cheat list or like your pass.
What?
Like you get like a
We've
pass.
never talked about a cheat list.
Not us, but I'm saying
Yeah.
certain people like say like once we're married, like oh that's like my pat, like that's my
Hall
my
pass,
pass.
like that movie,
yeah, my
The Hall Pass.
like celebrity where if they proposition me like I'm allowed to cheat on my wife with or my husband with Chris Pratt, kind of nonsense like that, you know. So anyway,
Chris Pratt is almost on my short list, man.
right?
I got a crush on Chris Pratt. I'm not afraid to admit it.
Who doesn't? He's charming. That's like what I'm trying to mold myself to be. I mean, come on.
You actually have a
Inspiration.
picture of him, don't you?
As inspiration. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
So, with that said, I thought we would go with like our top 3 list. So we'll
You
treat it
wanna
like we
do
did
5.
with the movies. I want to do
And
5 because I keep 5.
I actually really
I keep
hate
5
this
in the
game.
chamber.
I hate this game because I don't really have like a list. I don't, and like I'm married. I don't know. Like it feels weird to talk about other women when you're married. It's just like I don't like. I'm very happy with my wife. I find my wife to be like the most beautiful woman ever. Like, why do I need to talk about these other women? But you wanted to do it, so I came up with a list, and Leah actually helped me with it.
Oh, okay.
So-
I'm the asshole here. Okay, I got it.
I'm just saying. Like when you want to do 5, I was like, I'm not going to do 5. I'll do 3. I'll pick out 3 women, and like it's just weird because it's like.
You've changed, man. You act
It's
like
just
this
weird.
is something that we've never discussed in the past.
I even get weird when we talk
I
about
don't know.
the past.
I don't see other women. There are other women?
All right,
These aren't just like all androids that are just in
Whatever,
films
dude.
in order to make me
let's do it.
I don't feel anything. I don't see. You're like women. You're sex blind.
You say that I'm a robot,
You are a robot.
so there you go.
The Brybot.
I wanted to turn it into a game. I wanted to guess some of your women.
We want to treat this just like we did the movies. So you want to
Yep.
guess my women. Guess my
Here are
women.
my-
I don't think you're gonna get a 1 right.
I'm gonna throw out Emily Ratajkowski.
Okay, you got 1 right.
There you go.
Emily Rash. Emily Rash. Oh, let me finish this last
Ratajkowski?
Ritz cracker.
Ratajkowski. She's like a model or something. She's if you guys know the show iCarly, she was actually like his Gibby from
Why
iCarly.
the fuck would
His
you go back
girlfriend.
to iCarly? What
Because
the
it's
hell?
amazing.
In the
It's
history,
amazing.
in the history of like Emily Ratajkowski products, you're gonna go back to when she was fucking 13. You're a creep.
It's amazing.
No
that
wonder
Gibby,
you can't play this game. You are a creep.
It's amazing that Gibby from iCarly dated like a supermodel. That's all I'm saying. Oh, I'm not going to get
But
it.
she
I
was
got one.
13 years
Here's another
old.
girl. Here's another girl. Allison Brie.
No.
Okay. Here's one more. Ariel Winter.
No.
All right. So I got one.
You got one.
Who are your other two?
Congratulations. So Emily Ratajkowski, I would say, is like, I mean, yeah. So she's a model. She was in the Robin Thicke video. The Blurred Lines video. She was in the movie We Are Your Friends. She's in the new Amy Schumer movie, I Feel Pretty, and she gets around. She does some stuff. She's gorgeous. I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So then my other one, what I would say is, she's real hot ticket, but Gal Gadot. And I've been told that's how
Isn't it
pronounce her last
Gadot?
name. It's Gadot.
Are you sure?
That's what I've been told.
I'm almost positive it's Godot.
It's Gadot. Everybody says
know what?
Gadot, but it's
I'm going to try to look this up.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Look it
All
up.
right, who's your other one?
So yeah, I think that she's also like pretty flawless in terms of looks. And then my third one is, I wrote him down. Lily James is the actress. She was
Lily
in
James.
Baby Driver. She was in like the Cinderella like remake movie that came up recently. She's been in a few other projects. She's just gorgeous. I mean, just absolutely
think
gorgeous.
There's a video of Gal actually saying her last name. So let's take a listen to it. Let's see what she says.
Gal Gadot. Here's Gal.
Hello, my name is Gal Gadot. I'm obviously
Gal Gadot.
Gal
There you
Gadot?
go. Gal Gadot.
Well, why is everyone saying Godot then?
She's Israeli and people think that she's French and she's not.
Gal Gadot?
Yeah. So anyway, Lily James, Baby Driver, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, Cinderella. She's in Downton Abbey. She's gorgeous. I like her.
All right. Let's hear yours for guesses for
She's
me.
British.
British. There you go.
So my guesses for you are going to be Gal Gadot because you like Wonder Woman so much.
I did put her on there.
There you go. I'm gonna guess
Even
Margot
though,
Robbie.
Oh, she's on there too. Nice.
And
You know me
then
better than I thought. Are you going to get all three?
there's this Victoria's Secret model who I can't remember her last name, but her first name was like
What?
Marissa something, like Marissa Anderson or something like that.
Oh,
that
God.
what it was?
That's from a long time ago, isn't it? And she was on the cover, and I thought she was like hot shit.
Yeah, I
Ah.
I had to dig deep.
I actually don't remember her name.
It was like Marissa Anderson or something.
Was it Marissa with it? And then there was another
Marissa
L
Miller?
for her last
Marissa
name.
Miller?
Miller, there it is, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I do
Sorry.
not remember her at all.
Whoops.
Just the other girl I threw on there. She's also kind of a hot ticket gal here. Mila Kunis. I just threw her
Mila.
on there. I also like her personality,
I forgot
though.
Mila.
I think she's a funny gal, too.
You like who?
Mila Kunis. I think she's
Mila?
funny.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Margot Robbie, she's just like traditionally, obviously very pretty and shit. And then Gal Gadot, like I don't know if I actually find her
Gadot.
like that's like pretty or whatever, but like she's obviously very good looking.
You don't know if you find her that pretty?
But again, I think she's funny too. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna throw her on there.
With Gal Gadot and Emily Ratajkowski, I'm sorry, but I would classify them as being like perfect tens in terms of like.
Why are you
looks.
sorry
I'm
for
just-
that?
Because I don't know, because it sounds a bit chauvinistic, but
One
like they are flawlessly beautiful.
When I was
I'm sure
having-
they have flaws, but like they're tall, just. And so one thing with my picks is that my wife is a tall brunette, strong woman, and so were three of my picks. And I was just curious to see if you would go after any blondes, because I didn't know if you would, because
I
your
did.
wife is blonde, and so I was like, I,
I
wonder if
did.
he's
Margot
just gonna
Robbie
go,
was the
like-
top of my list, so
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay.
I was gonna put on here. I was gonna put Jesse James Decker just because I didn't know. I'm just like I don't really have like a three or whatever.
That's your wife's pick.
And it is my wife's pick, but you know
That
what?
comes straight from your wife.
It does. But Jesse James Decker, she's a fine looking lady too.
Yeah, it's just because your wife likes Eric
Decker.
Decker, and so she's just like probably in love with that couple.
Brock, I have so many chunks of rice stuck in my teeth. I had to eat enough that you could hear
Good for
it.
you. Good for you. You better be careful.
All right. Are we ready for this?
Yeah, we're ready. And with that,
dude, that might be
let's
on your jock
go
jam.
from
Are you ready for this? It
was.
Was that on there?
That was like the song, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get into it,
So from a lighthearted romp to this fucking movie.
yeah. But Brock, before,
Yeah.
what did we learn?
What
from
did you
Nick
learn?
Cage? I'll go first
What
this
did-
time. You went first last time.
Sure.
I learned that flashlights don't work very well when what you're looking for is on the ground. It'll come.
Do you know what I learned from this movie from Nick Cage?
What did you learn from Nick Cage?
Hey, did you know that this movie takes place in Niagara Falls?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. It's Pay the Ghost all over again.
That's pretty much it. This movie is in Niagara Falls.
Yep. That's good enough for me. It's going to be on there.
I know.
Okay.
Cut that out, Ben. Fuck you.
No, I'm going to put it right over top of it.
All right. So guys, cut to Niagara Falls.
Our Nicktro, he's wearing a hat that says NFPD, Niagara Falls Police Department, which I asked you, is Niagara Falls a town as well? Or
It's a city. Yeah.
Is it?
It's a city in New York, which is like on the border.
And it's
of,
called
like, New
Niagara
York and
Falls.
Canada. Yeah, Niagara Falls. It's like they said it was like a mining town or like an industrial town, but like all the industries have shut down. So it's just a tourist city at this point.
Nick is shooting a bunch of guns, like handguns at targets, hitting dead center every time, right in the
He's at
head.
a gun range, and he's a great shot. Now, in previous movies, we've seen he's a fucking terrible shot. But whenever
Not
he gets to
this
play
time.
like a super good cop, he's a great shot. So I think this is like there's like a cutoff point too, because in Humanity Bureau, which was like a 2017 movie, right? I think in like 2017, some directors were like, you know what? Nick Cage gets to be good now.
Did
gets to be a
he
good
shoot
shot.
well in Humanity Bureau? I know everyone else.
Remember
sucked in
when he
Humanity
like
Bureau.
did like the 3 shots of like the and he shot the one guy like in the
Yeah,
chest
it
twice
took
and then
3
right between the
shots
eyes?
though, and he shot from
and
the
they like
ground to the ceiling.
they like promoted him because they said that he hit him right between the eyes, and so they're like, you get a promotion.
And ever since then, they're like, you know what? Why don't we just make him shoot well?
Yeah, like we don't need to write it in that like he misses anymore. Even though in the last movie that we watched, or some of them, a couple back, like he couldn't hit goddamn anything. Anyway, in Time to Kill. In Time to Kill, he started out, so he's worked on his aim over the last 20
I
years.
forgot the movie Time to Kill. Leah is still on G-Force, and she's like, I just started the one right after G-Force. And I was like, I know it's not Pay the Ghost because that's number 19. I was like, what the hell was number 18? And it was that
Ugh.
freaking snooze fest Time to Kill.
Okay, I don't think I've told you, and I don't think I've put this into the podcast canon yet, but do you know why like my notes were so light during Time to Kill?
Because you were banging.
Because I fell asleep during the entire middle of Time to Kill. So that's why. Like, that movie was so boring that I literally
Yeah, that's
just
why
fell
you...
asleep.
Did you even see them dancing drunkenly together?
I think I was like in and out.
Ay.
So.
Right off the top
All right,
here...
sorry,
I gotta
but
say,
back to Vengeance.
right off the top here, I gotta say that the audio is so shitty. You cannot understand a word being said by anyone. This is on Netflix.
No.
So this is like...
Yeah. This is that.
This is the audio that's on the movie, and it's so bad I can't hear them.
Okay, so this is Netflix. All right, we're gonna try to skip to like the better parts of this. So we'll try to blaze through some of this beginning. He's in a car with his partner, and we get like a bunch of things that say like Niagara Falls is dangerous city. It's apparently New York's most dangerous city. We get like a little
that
sign
true?
of like, "Welcome to Niagara Falls, New York's most dangerous city." I don't know. There's a bunch of meth labs.
Why are they
going
promoting
around.
it? Why? Like
Everybody's
that's not
got-
something that you promote.
yeah.
Like, hey, we're the worst city in the New York.
I don't know, but it's literally like a welcome to Niagara Falls sign, and then it says like, New York's most dangerous city. There's a bunch of newspaper clippings about meth labs and like news reports about meth lab explosions, meth. So they're in a car with his partner and a squad car or whatever, and his partner shows him this ring that he's gonna buy for his girlfriend or something. They get a radio call. Nick, by the way, doesn't give a fuck. Does not care. No
Nope.
fucks given. The entire movie. But
Nope.
like this starts off, Nick does not care when people talk to him. He does not listen. He is stone-faced this entire film.
Holy shit!
And
I
so,
thought you said we were
right
going to skip
here-
over a lot of this shit.
Well, right
Like,
here,
basically
I
what
have
happens is they
I have a
run
thing
into
that
a bad
says
guy.
his partner is going to die. I
And
have
his
a note
partner
that
dies.
says partner's going to die.
The guy gets shot by the bad guy, and he's dead. Nick Cage does not give a shit that he's dead either. No
Yeah.
emotion, does not care.
Well, so his partner gets shot around a van, and then Nick like falls on the ground, but has his patented 3 shots from the sky to the ceiling, or from the ground to the ceiling, and he kills the bad guy.
I thought you killed him
And,
with one shot.
Then goes to he fired like 2 or 3. He goes to his partner and he says, "Fight it. Look at me. Fight it."
Pretty
in order
much-
to like,
Pretty much with that amount of emotion, too.
yeah, fight it. Look at me. Fight it. And that's pretty much that's all you get.
That was spot on. I couldn't even tell if that was you or Nick Cage.
But I'm fairly certain that his partner dies.
Oh, yeah, he does. Because then when he goes to the
So-
bar, there's another random guy there who's like, I would quit if I was you. Like, partner just
yeah.
died and blah, blah, blah.
Okay,
So,
he goes
now
to
he
the
is
bar.
at a bar.
Goes to a bar, and bartender tells him, "Hey, look at this sexy woman that just walked in. Her
Sexy
name is
blonde.
Tina McGuire." She goes to the jukebox, puts a sexy song on, starts gyrating. She dances with her friend, but then her friend goes away to like meet up with her boyfriend or something. So then she starts hitting on Nick.
Was the
Nick-
boyfriend gonna go over Niagara Falls in a barrel? Is that what I was
She
to
said
understand?
something like that, but I think she was just joking because she was just trying to flirt. That's
Okay.
like a whole thing, though, is that like, yeah, if you live in Niagara Falls, like eventually everybody tries to go over Niagara Falls in a barrel. But she said something like, he's gonna go over Niagara Falls, he doesn't have a barrel yet.
Oh,
It
that's
doesn't
what
matter.
it was.
So then she starts hitting on Nick. Like, she's just talking, too, because she's
Yeah.
like, hey, yeah, Tina. Okay, this is the part where you tell me your name. Oh, yeah, sure, I'd love a drink. Yep. And then, like, just keeps talking. Nick is just, again, stone-faced, staring at her like he
And-
could give any
and-
less of a care.
She calls him a hero, and we see like all these newspaper articles on the wall. And then Nick kind of smiles after that, and she goes, crooked smile, I like that. And then right at the end of
"Do
all this,
you?"
she's literally talking for a minute and a half without Nick saying a word. She goes, I like you, you're a good listener. And it's like, bitch, give him a second to talk.
She tells him her life story of how she lives with her mom, or like goes back to her mom's place, and she has a daughter. Now, the bartender did tell Nick, like, oh yeah, so she's a widow because like her husband used to work for like the Goodyear factory or something, and now he died from cancer. So
Yes.
okay,
And like she had a 6-year-old daughter, and yeah. When he
now
died.
her daughter's 12.
Yeah, now the daughter's 12, so 6 years later.
Okay,
And Nick,
so she
like,
hits on Nick, gives him her number or something like that, or he gives her his number, and she says, "Yeah, like I want to, like meet back up with you. You're a good listener." Done.
and out of nowhere, Nick just goes, I should let you know, I'm a widower.
oh yeah,
And she goes like, well, I'm a widow, so we'll understand each other.
yep,
That's literally the only thing Nick Cage said to her. Was like,
Yes.
I just think you should know that I'm a widower.
yep, pretty much.
Yep.
Nick, I don't even know if Nick tells her his name. She just looks at the newspaper article and gets it.
Yep.
That's it.
Beth,
Nick doesn't
so
look good, by the way. This is 2017 Nick. He's
No.
not looking great.
Tina has a kid named Bethy who is 12 years old now. She's on, like, Tina's throwing a party with a bunch of her friends. They got a keg and stuff. And,
And like, a
Bethy
backyard
is
barbecue for the 4th
Yep.
of July.
Bethy is like sitting on the roof drinking beers with her friends when she's not supposed to be and stuff.
Well,
And then
yeah, so her friend Annie comes by, and Bethy says like, "Oh yeah, my mom doesn't know that I'm on this roof. She also doesn't know that I have this." And she gets like a can, and I thought it was like a can of like Spot Shot, like cleaner. And I was like, "Are they gonna start huffing this fucking paint?"
because I put in my note says Bethy drinks beer, huffs shaving cream,
Yeah,
and then
or, like,
we end up
paint.
finding out it's just
it's
silly string.
and she's like super stoked about this can of silly string.
I thought she was
Yeah.
huffing too, man.
This boy comes by with a beer and tries to give it to her. Bethy refuses. And then the boy like literally like looks at her mom and is like, "Hey, is your mom like with this guy named Carrie?" And she's like, "Yeah, I guess. She's known him for like a couple hours." And then he's like, "I can
Casey?
see why he likes her." And he's like
Casey?
hitting on, yeah, I think it's Casey or Carrie, something
Casey.
like that. And then Casey, sorry. And then the little boy is like, "Yeah, I can see why he likes her so much." And it's just like gross, but okay, fair enough. Like, don't hit on the mom to the daughter.
Tina sees Bethy on the roof, gets all pissed off, and then they leave the
Yells
party.
at her, makes her get down.
As they're going home, Tina decides to cut through the woods
Oh, so
towards
Casey
Niagara Falls.
offers to like them to stay there, and you're like, okay, no, and they said, no, we're just gonna walk home by ourselves. We're fine. Okay, done.
I thought
Sorry.
Casey was going to rape her.
I thought so too,
You did?
because like
Okay.
Casey then has like more beer with all his buddies, and I was like, I know that there's gonna be a rape.
There's rape somewhere. It's called Rape a Love Story. The novel is.
Probably.
But they cut through the
Nope.
woods towards Niagara Falls, and she gets stopped by a group of guys. There's 4 of
So
them.
I have a note here before that happens. So Bethy and Martina are walking, and Bethy can't remember her dad, so they have like this heart to heart. And right here is where I put shit is going to get bad, very, very bad. Because I was like, I don't even want to watch from this point forward because I know it's gonna go downhill.
The 4
So
guys.
then Mom says, "Hey, I know a shortcut," and I was like, "Not a
We're
fucking
rehashing that. We
shortcut."
already know that.
And then Bethy laughs, and I was like, "Oh God, don't laugh! Don't laugh, because you know it's coming." Anyway, now get to your 4 guys.
And there's just 4 guys, and they know her name, and they're like, "Oh, Tina," and whatever.
Yeah.
And they
His
pull
name's
her.
Marvin Fick. He introduces himself.
There's 4 of them though, and they pull her into this like shed barn area, and they also have Bethy.
Boathouse.
Bethy kind of escapes and like hides behind this fence in there. I didn't quite get.
Yeah, it's
what
like a
was.
storage area, and she like
Yeah.
slips through like a chain link fence kind of thing.
It was just small enough for
Barrier.
her to get through, but the guys are too big; they can't get through it. But there's slits in the fence or whatever that she can see what's going on. And Tina gets beat the fuck up, and she gets raped. I thought she was dead.
Yeah, they smash her head up against the floor, and this scene lasts like 5 minutes, and the whole time, like, Bethy's just hot, like screaming and crying. I had subtitles on, and I wish I did not.
What did it say?
Well, at one point, Tina yells, "Get out of me! Get out of me!"
Oh,
So that's
yeesh.
yeah.
Yeah, it was gruesome.
And Tina is basically left there as the guys run away, and Tina's like staring straight up. So I didn't know she was dead.
I thought she
Tina
was
dead.
Yeah.
Her arm kind of moves as Bethy like crawls.
But Bethy like hit it.
yeah.
I thought
Well-
she was dead and she was just kind of hitting her arm or whatever. But anyway, Bethy kind of escapes and it's foggy
and
out
is
by
walking
the way.
on the road.
Is walking on the road in the
And
fog.
of course, guess who's
Frickin'
the first
creepy.
car that arrives at her?
Nicholas.
Nick and his partner, his new partner.
So this is where my what Nick Cage taught me comes from, because he goes into this cabin or whatever and it's dark and he has his flashlight. He shines the flashlight in the room and literally pans right, pans left, and she's right in front of him. A flashlight apparently can't shine on the ground very well, but he finally sees her after like panning left and right, and it's just like, Nick, come on, man. Like, you would have seen that first thing when you walked in with that flashlight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
I had a note here that was like, and then he checks her pulse, and I had like Tina dead, and then I put no, and then I was like, wait, yes, and then I was like, no, like I have no idea.
Yeah,
She goes to the
because-
hospital.
Yeah, and like as they're pulling her out of there,
She
one
goes
of
in an
Nick's-
ambulance.
Yeah, one of Nick's partners or something says like, they left us DNA, fingerprints. The only thing they didn't leave were name tags. And
Yep.
so it's like, okay, well, there's a bunch of evidence against them then.
They have a witness. I mean, they have little Bethy. So
Yeah.
they load her up in an ambulance, which I'm like, okay, so that's not like a hearse. Like, they didn't put her in a body bag, so I think she's alive. Like, go to the hospital. They say, oh, she's lost a lot of blood, which doesn't look like she's lost a lot of blood, but sure. And apparently Bethy broke her arm. So they get to the hospital. Bethy kind of gives like a testimony of like, here's these guys. She probably heard the guy say, my name's Marvin Fix. And then
Right before
while she's in the hospital, now Nick and the cops are going to round up all the
Yes.
guys.
So Nick goes, Nick kind of talks to Bethy, and she tells him enough information that he knows where to go. He goes to the bad guy's house.
Yep.
He storms in and just like
He
is.
busts in the door. And
He has
So there are
One-
4 guys. There are
one
2
thing I
brothers.
noticed. Way too tight of pants. Because at one point he like gets on a bed by one of the bad guys and is like holding him down, and his butt cheeks are hanging out pretty tight.
Cheers. Yeah, he wears like leather pants and like a leather jacket in this. So these two brothers are Lloyd and Marvin Fick, and they apparently live with the mom and dad, and who are like white trash, and they live in the same bedroom.
Yeah, I think
It's just like
Yeah, it's
guys,
weird.
and they're like 36 years oldish, probably 35.
one of the bad guys like escapes, and Nick's partner is running after him,
Is
and
running after him.
as he's running after him, he's just yelling like, "Stop! Please stop!" Like,
Yeah, he's like, "Come on, would you just stop
on, just
running?
stop."
Stop! Come on, okay, bud. Now, come on."
I'm tired.
And so like
come
he's
on.
running through like a train station, and then eventually like this guy is about to get out and like turn the corner, and what do we get? But a high fucking knee to the balls from Nick Cage, who's like waiting around the corner and just basically sticks out his knee and just like nut knees this guy.
It's good enough for me.
It's a high fucking knee.
So they get all four guys rounded up, and they want to put them into a lineup for Bethy because
Yep.
Tina's in a coma, we found out.
Yeah.
So they want Bethy to point out the four guys, and there's 7 guys walk in, and they're like, all right, pick out the 4 who you think it is. And she points them right the fuck out because she knows.
Yeah, out of the 7, she picks out the 4, and yeah. So I just want to say that the Marvin Fick, who's like the main kind of guy, like the ringleader of this whole thing, he is played by this actor named Joshua Michael or Joshua McKell.
Is this the guy who later in the movie is like talking to Casey in the bar?
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's different because that
he's the one brother with like the long hair, not with the rat tail.
okay, and he's the one in the car later driving.
Yeah, he's
the
like
car.
the mastermind. Yeah.
Okay.
So he is one of the most unlikable faces I've ever seen.
Yes.
And he's like cocky this whole time. He like winks at people and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's him. Yeah.
He is the long-haired asshole savior on The Walking Dead. If you want to like try to like think of who this guy is. So on The Walking Dead and like this last season, for anybody who's seen, he's like this long-haired like redneck, red-haired like savior, and everybody just freaking hates him on this show. And so he's like the most unlikable actor I think I've ever seen, and he plays that role very, very well. I'm sure he's a sweetheart, but he's just such a dick in every role that he
Two
takes.
of these 4 guys, we get more into
Oh
the
my
bad guys
God.
later. 2 out of the 4 are they're terrible actors and like overacted as shit, but whatever. So Bethy, after pointing out the 4 guys in the lineup, is sitting kind of in the waiting room of the hospital, and there's
Crying.
a TV playing in the background. Nick Cage comes down, sits next to her awkwardly. He does not know how to talk to kids, just like kind of sits there for 10 seconds.
Stone-faced again. Just
Yep.
completely has no emotion this entire film.
Yeah.
Just stone-faced and just like watches things happen and then like goes over and like maybe drops a line and then leaves. He has
Because what he said, he sits down next to her, and like we said, we hear the TV in the background, and he just goes, "My favorite is Daffy Duck." And then Bethy thinks that's funny, and she laughs at him. And
yeah, she goes from crying to laughing.
that's how you talk to kids? All right,
like,
man.
My favorite is Daffy Duck. And it's like, why? Why? To what end is your favorite Daffy Duck? How do you identify with Daffy Duck? Anyway.
So now we go back to that house. What did you say this main bad guy's name is? Whose house we're going to?
Marvin Hicks.
Marvin.
Marvin
I'm gonna
Hick.
write that down.
Or
I should
Marvin
be able to remember
Fick,
that.
Excuse me. Marvin Fick.
Marvin.
It's a cousin Marvin.
When we got a dog, I wanted to name our dog Marv. Just because I think that's a funny dog name. And Leah wouldn't let me, though. Even with Finn. Finn was only 2 months old. We could have called him Marv and would have gotten it.
Yeah.
She wouldn't let me do it.
Okay.
That's my story.
Okay, so we go back to this house, and so this is Father Muldoon, because I remember, like, the mom, Irma, I think her name is, the mom of Marvin and Lloyd Fick, so Irma Fick, says, like, hey, I'm going to call Father Muldoon. Now, when you hear the name Father Muldoon, what, like, nationality or, like, background do you think a Father Muldoon is going to have? Father Muldoon. Probably gonna be an Irish dude. I'm sorry. The name Muldoon is pretty friggin' Irish. So I'm expecting
I
Irish.
guess.
And this Tommy Wiseau accented motherfucker comes in. And
And he's like Hispanic.
no, he's French.
Oh, it's French?
Yeah. I
It's
looked
a
up
bad
the actor.
accent.
he's French, and like I can't understand most of what he says. Thank God for subtitles. But like, why is it like just give him a different name? He doesn't have to be a Father Muldoon if he's like clearly not any percent Irish. He's like the most Frenchiest French.
Yeah, just make him like Father Pierre.
Yeah, it's just so. Anyway, whatever.
But the pastor gives the parents a name of a really good lawyer.
He's like,
essentially.
yes, Irma, we are all his children, but until he calls us, we live in this world. Sometimes he sends an angel, sometimes a messenger. And I'm like, oh, so is Nick Cage the messenger? Got it.
Nope, it's not Nick Cage.
I beg to differ. This has weird religious undertones that just like sprinkle up. Nick will bring it up later. Don't worry.
Tina
we'll get there.
wakes up and talks
And
about
he
the
recommends a
roof.
lawyer. Yeah.
Yeah, Tina wakes up, talks about the roof, so she does not remember the rape because the roof is when Bethy was on the roof. So that's kind of
He's
weird.
got selective amnesia.
Lawyer meets with the. So what's this lawyer's name? I just
Jay.
put bad lawyer.
Jay.
Jay,
His
the
name
bad
is Jay.
lawyer.
Jay
Jay meets with the parents, and the parents are like, they have DNA. And Jay just goes, television. In a trial, there are two stories. The jury picks which story they like better. So he's just being, he doesn't care that they have DNA, so he's like, nah, it's fine. We just got to come up with a good story.
Yeah, that's all television stuff. It's not like what you see on TV and movies, except that when we get to the frickin' courtrooms, it's exactly like what you see in TV and movies. But
Oh, the courtroom
I
scenes are
digress.
the worst.
I digress. We'll get there. Okay, so anyway, Jay says the story and how you tell it. That's all that matters. So Walt and Irma decide that they're going to put up their house. And then Walt says at one point, too, like, wait, you have two clients? And Jay's like, well, yeah, you have two sons. They're two clients, and I have to get both of them off. And Walt's like, well, it's like a woman who has two babies. And so I'm going to give him a freaking, like, southern accent, even though this is in New York, in Niagara Falls. But, like, these are the trashiest white trashes of any trash that is white. And they're just like, it's like a woman who has two babies. You're doing the same amount of work. It's like, why, she's got two tits, right? And it's just like, okay, man.
And yeah, he's trying to basically say, like, we should only have to pay you for one because it's the same story. And Jay, the lawyer,
And
goes...
Jay says...
Oh, did you write... Yeah, you can say it. I don't care.
You're paying me to keep your sons out of jail so they don't get raped like that innocent woman.
Yeah. So he
Fair
knows.
enough.
Yeah, he knows that, like, they did shit. I want to make one point here. When Jay was talking about, like, the jury picks which story they like better, I think juries are fucking weird. I think it's weird that we determine the fate of an individual off of 12 people who have no
Who are
knowledge
supposed to be
of...
unbiased.
Who are supposed to be unbiased, but they have no knowledge of law. They have no knowledge of DNA. They have no knowledge of, like, how this shit works, forensics, or anything. And yeah, it's like, oh, these 12 people are going to pick. How does that work, man? How are smarter people?
Jury of your peers, dude. It's supposed
Jury
to be
of your peers.
Who are
It's
supposed to be
the
unbiased
worst-
and uncorrupted.
I think it's the worst law ever because they don't know. They literally just get manipulated by a lawyer. And it's like someone who's smarter and who deals with that shit every day should be making those decisions, not 12 random people off the street.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I think it's so bad. That's my rant about juries.
Well, if you have an alternative that works,
Let
I'd
the
love to
judge
hear it.
pick. Why can't the judge decide who's innocent and guilty?
That's civil court.
Whatever. So now we go back to Bethy, who's with her grandma, and
And the doctor, or the lawyer, sorry. The lawyer is played by Don Johnson, who's Dakota Johnson's father.
okay.
Most notably known as being Dakota Johnson's father. He's like Miami Vice.
Bethy has ice cream
famous
from her
actor.
grandma, and her grandma
love him.
goes, like, and she doesn't want to eat her ice cream, and the grandma goes, for blueberry swirl? Well, you must be sick. And I'm like, I wouldn't eat blueberry swirl ice cream
Yeah.
either. That sounds gross.
Blueberry swirl, like.
Give me some chocolate. I'll even take vanilla over that. Don't give me blueberry
Yeah.
swirl.
I don't want
Such a
blueberry.
grandma move.
Yeah, blueberry swirl did sound disgusting. I remember hearing it. I was like,
So Tina starts to remember things while she's sleeping.
Bethy. Well, yeah, and Bethy goes into like a convenience store and she gets bullied by a big girl, who is the sister of Marvin and Lloyd. She's like a little older than Bethy, so I'd put her at like 15, 16. She dresses
Yeah.
like a whore.
Yeah, her
And
dad said that at one point.
she bullies Bethy.
Yeah, she's like, you and that whore mama better shut that mouth.
So
Again,
then-
they are in New York.
Like they're like Southern, but they're not in the South. Martina, remembers via like a nightmare of what happened.
Yeah, so she does start to remember now, and now they go to court, and as Tina's walking into court, I think it's Marvin, just kind of like goes, Tina.
Yeah, it's not Marvin. No, it's the Johnny. His name is Johnny.
Is that the one who sees
Yes.
Casey later?
That's the
That's the
biggest
idiot.
asshole out of this whole
Yep.
movie.
So yeah, he's like mocking her as she's walking in.
Yeah, you want to hate Marvin, but you should hate Johnny. So yeah, I have a note here that just says like, "Fuck, this movie is draining." Like every time there's a dramatic scene, though, there's also just like the slow woman moaning, like Enya type music, like. So like every time, well, during the attack scene, during the part where Martina remembers, and so like she gets all like traumatized and starts crying, like during when Bethy gets like anytime there's a little bit of drama, this like woman moaning music comes in, and it's just like it sucks the life out of you.
So guys,
Let's
we
keep going.
have 4 guys who raped an innocent woman, and yet I found myself hating this judge more than those men.
Yes.
Because this judge is a fucking dickhead. So first of all, the bad guy's lawyer, Jay, is late. And he just comes walking in, and the judge is like, oh, no, it's not a problem. Don't worry. Sit down. Tina's lawyer, I'm just going to call her Tina's
Lady
lawyer. It's fine.
lawyer.
Lady lawyer. I call her
Call
good
her
lawyer.
Lady Lawyer. So
I
Lady
call her good
Lawyer
lawyer.
had prepped Tina in her house saying like, all you got to do. So this is not the trial. This is just like the court like summoning that says like, hey, we just need you there to say like, yes, these 4 guys, and then we're going to pick a trial date. So like that's what she was prepped to do. She just has to show up. Tina does say, yeah, it was those 4 guys, and then we go to pick a trial date. This is all it is.
I wrote down a big scene here from when Tina's lawyer calls Nick to the stand. So Tina's lawyer goes, you responded to a call. And Jay, the bad lawyer, goes, Your Honor, we're going to have big problems here if the state refuses to honor the basic principles of discovery. We have no record of a call. And then Nick goes, actually, me and my partner were coming from another call. And the judge goes, actually, detective, it's my partner and I. And there's no question pending. And then one of the bad guys laughs at him. It's like, fuck you, judge. Like, you, whether he says me and my partner or my partner
this
and I,
judge
you know
is
what he's
so
saying.
Biased that like, I mean, yeah, that
alone just already showed me it's just like, all right, this guy's a piece of shit.
And this is like at the point where I have a note that says, holy shit, I can't watch this judge because my blood is boiling right now. Boiling. Watching this judge. Just by those lines. And
Yep.
then
it gets worse.
Then we get this next scene, which you have to put this audio in of what this judge
Oh, this
says
is the
next,
worst. Did you write it down? I wrote it down.
so
now.
that everybody else can hate this judge as much as us.
I'll put it in, but I wrote it down too. Do you want me to say it?
Oh no, I got it.
Oh, by the way, there was a flashback between that line there with the judge being like, it's my partner and I. Nick has a flashback because the
Yeah.
judge asked, what did you observe? And it flashes back to
Sorry.
Nick seeing her body. So I just want to get that out there. But okay, if you want to do this one. So now Tina is going to the stand. And the judge has some
can we
words
call
for her.
Tina to the stand as like a witness? Now this is a rape attack victim
Yes.
who
is beat up. She has red
sunglasses
marks
and
all
a
over her
scarf
face.
on, like,
Yeah.
and is clearly still
Distressed.
traumatized.
Yeah.
Couple days off of like the attack, so just came out of a coma. I get that the judge might not know that, but the judge also should maybe have a couple of these details.
The lawyer
Or at
tells
least be,
him.
like, somewhat
So,
sympathetic.
Do you have the scene written down? Say what it says.
Could you have her remove her sunglasses? It's not that bright in here. And the lawyer says, her lady lawyer says, well, ever since the attack, she's susceptible to light.
Due to
And-
the injuries she sustained in this brutal attack, she's been made unusually susceptible to light.
And the judge says, well, maybe she could try squinting. It's distracting.
Well, they're distracting. Perhaps she could try squinting. Like, fuck you, buddy.
That is like
you.
so. That is so it's over the top, and I know
Try
what they're trying to
squinting.
do. I get what this movie wants us to do. This movie wants us to hate this judge. It's all set up to hate this judge. They're doing it too well because I don't hate this judge. I do hate this judge, but like I'm also really starting to hate this movie.
Now that here,
much.
I wrote down another big scene here because now the good lawyer
Because I want
is
to punch
talking
this dude in the jeans so bad.
The good lawyer
His
is
jeans
talking.
would be punched so far up his go.
The good lawyer is talking to Tina on the stand and says, prior to your attack, did you know the assailants? And Tina goes, they knew my name. Like, just kind of like
Yeah.
thinking back to it, she's just shocked. And the bad lawyer, Jay,
He's
goes,
traumatized.
objection, unresponsive. And then Tina just kind of starts mumbling like, Tina. And the judge goes, sustained. Please wait for the next question. And the bad lawyer goes, Your Honor, the defense is happy to stipulate Miss McGuire's positive identification of all 4 defendants. So I don't
basically
understand what that means.
means is that like no, my clients, all the 4 guys are willing to say that they were there.
Yeah. And like the judge is like, okay, that sounds good to me. Step down.
But then Tina starts having a breakdown on the witness stand. And says like, no, like you didn't let me talk. You didn't actually ask me the question that like I came here to, that I was prepped for. So like, yes, it was those 4 guys. They were there. They did this. Because like, again, they're just throwing out lawyer speak. And this Jay lawyer, Don Johnson, like knows what he's doing. He knows that she's traumatized. He knows that if like he speaks up over her head that she's not going to understand. So he's playing it the best way that he knows how.
Now that Jay says some bullshit
Yeah.
here, though.
So then Jay launches into a story of how essentially he launches into the story not as like what could have happened, but what he says happened. I don't understand how he's and earlier he shut shit down of like, hey, I didn't realize that we were on trial here already. Like, but if you want to do this today, we can do it today. I'm ready. And they're like, no, we're literally just here to say like, hey, was it these 4 guys and get out of here. But he then is allowed to launch into this story of, well, it was the 4th of July. There were 5 kegs amongst 19 people. Do you know how many beers in 5 kegs? 19 people. That's super impressive. So they're all drunk as hell. She goes and she takes her daughter down to the park so that she can have a gangbang and have her daughter, like, watch. They were, yes, they admit to, like, meeting her down at this park. They admit to having sex with her, but it was all consensual because she was charging them to have sex with her as, like, a prostitution thing. And
I wrote
they
down
didn't
a
know
few
that the
lines.
daughter was there. The daughter got hurt crawling into like a storage container on her own.
So I wrote down a little bit of the lines. So basically, Jay goes like, it wasn't rape. It was consensual. She had drinks with her latest boyfriend, like kind of like, oh, look at this slutty girl.
And meanwhile, the crowd that is
Yep.
here in this courtroom is not a jury. It's just a crowd, and it's all pretty much made up of the supporters and like the family and friends, including the mom, who's like pitching in little like comments like,
That's
So,
right. That's
he-
what I thought.
He says like had drinks with her latest boyfriend. Then he goes, yeah, trade money for sex, and then she wildly, drunkenly attacked them. And the good lawyer
when she
goes,
tried to raise
objection.
her price. That's
The
what-
good lawyer goes, objection, and the judge goes, overruled. So then Jade hops back into it and goes, no time were they aware that there's a 12-year-old girl. And then after that, the whole courtroom claps.
Yeah.
Like everybody's just like, oh yeah, look at this, she's a slutty girl. Like yeah, look at this.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. So that's exactly where it is like a TV and like movie courtroom where it's like objection overruled, like that. So the judge already sustained one objection, like oh and to start this whole thing off, when he first like took the bench, he goes order in the court and like bangs his gavel. Nobody was talking at that point,
Yeah.
and so now So Bethy tries to object, and the judge shuts her down and is like, hey, like, you keep that little girl quiet. Because Bethy's like, that's not what happened. And he's like, shut up, let him finish.
Yep. Like
so
we'll
then-
toss you out if you keep talking.
So then Jay basically says, like, the only thing, yeah, this little girl is a victim, but she's a victim of her mother's own negligence for, like, being such a whore. And basically says, like, that exact line. And then the crowd erupts in, like, cheering.
And they start clapping. Yep.
and clapping and like hooting and hollering, just loud. And I'm like, how the fuck is this allowed to continue? How is this not in order in the court? Because the judge is fucking loving it. And it's so frustrating. And then finally when Tina is like breaking down and like having a nervous like collapse, he's like, order, get her the hell out of here. Like, where are the bailiffs? Because like she's the one that's like being disruptive. It's
So
so
yeah, it's enough to make your blood boil. But so as they're all kind of leaving, Nick Cage walks past one of the bad guys, Marv, I guess, and he just goes. Marvin not
winks
too
at
bad,
him.
huh?
Yeah, and like winks at him.
Yep.
Or like, yeah. So the only solace that I have is knowing that Nick is apparently going to unleash some form of vengeance.
So now we cut back to Tina, and she's contemplating suicide. She has about 20 pills in her hands. I don't see any water in sight. I will say that.
She's got a fistful of pills, right?
So she
And
was ready to
she
raw
holds
dog
them up.
20,
and then-
dude. That's how many we got up to.
And then she throws them all up against the window and like throws the pill bottle down on the floor.
She must have listened to Rage after we
Dude,
said it last episode. She knew you could do 20 of
I
them.
have that this film is taunting our podcast. It knows what we want. It knows what we're looking for, and it's just taunting us at this point now.
Yeah.
It's just like
So after she throws the pills on the ground or wherever, she goes to Niagara Falls, because guys, this is by
She
Niagara
walks
Falls.
across the street, and a car almost hits her.
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's like near death number 2.
Nick stops her by Niagara Falls, because
Yeah.
Nick is always there.
Hey, did you have that in your notes? Because I have that exact in my notes. Nick is always there.
I didn't, but it's just true. It's just like he's
Like,
always there.
Nick is there.
And
He's always there.
he says something like, "Don't, like, you have a child. She already lost one parent. Don't let her lose her mother too, or whatever." And he stops her.
He says, you have a child. Don't let her feel any more pain. And then like she's like goes on a little rant or whatever, and then he like goes to her and he's like, I'm moving very slowly, and like brings her into an embrace and takes her away from the ledge.
Because he didn't want to frighten her. Because we saw earlier, like she went to a bar to have a drink, and like a guy like startled her by because she dropped a glass, and he was gonna like pick up the pieces or whatever. So yeah, so she's very obviously like emotionally distraught. Nick drops her off, and Bethy is inside, and Nick goes in and
Before
talks
that,
to Bethy.
Annie is Bethy's little friend who is up on the roof with her, and Annie's mom like drops her off. And can we point out that Annie is kind of like a shitty friend too? Because like on the roof, Annie just wanted to hook up with this douchebag who was like talking about her mom. Then in the convenience store gas station, Annie like went outside to like hit on another boy and left Bethy all alone.
She
so
didn't
Bethy could
know
get
that.
bullied.
Like she didn't know
Annie's
the bully
a
was gonna
shitty
come.
friend.
She didn't know the bully was gonna come.
She's a shitty friend. Anyway,
They got hormones going and stuff. You don't know what's going on.
Bethy gets in the house and she tries to call for the cat named Tiger Lily, who's like her grandma's cat. So they're living with grandma, by the way. I don't know grandma's name, so it's just grandma. Calls the cat and there's no response, by the way.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Anyway, so then mom gets dropped off by Nick.
And Nick just
And-
goes to Bethy. Like, so Tina runs upstairs, whatever. She's distraught. She had a bad day. And Nick goes to Bethy. She needed a ride home. Bethy, look at me. She's having a tough time. You got to keep an eye on her. You got to take real good care of her.
Yeah.
Like, he says it so monotoneless.
It's so deadpan. Everything is so deadpan. And I get that that's a choice. Again,
And then-
I understand what's happening. I just don't like it.
And then he gives her his business card.
Yes.
And she says the number out loud, and I wrote it down. I want to call it.
She reads the number for us out loud. You want to call
I'm
it
going
right
to call
now?
it. So it was
Give it to
706.
me.
It's like she just reads it. She picks it up and she goes,
Give it to me. I'll call it.
706,
God, I don't want to call it.
35. I got it. I'm going to do it. She goes 706 358 10. And then like it trails off. But in the. So you hear
Subtitles.
706 358 10. And then it trails off. But in the closed captionings, it says 1001. So all right, here we go. We're going to put it on speakerphone. We're going to see if someone answers.
Dude, what happens when somebody answers?
I'm going to talk to him.
All right. Ask if Nick Cage is there.
What's his character's name?
I don't.
Mike? Mike?
No,
Mike
his
something?
name was like John in this one.
What is 706? What area code is that?
His name was John.
Niagara Falls, I bet. I think it's a fake. Oh, it just said user busy. I don't know what that means. User busy?
Interesting. It's probably like the number of one of the people on this
I wonder-
set.
This movie went straight to video, didn't it?
Probably straight to Netflix. I don't know.
Anyway, okay, so that, all right. I thought that might be more fun. Nothing happened. All right, so now
You didn't even
after
leave
like
a
Nick
voicemail.
leaves, right? After Nick leaves, Bethy looks outside and one of the bad guys is there, and he's dangling the cat's leash and goes meow, and the cat is hanging from a tree.
And this guy is Jimmy. And he's not hanging from a tree. It's hanging from like literally the porch.
Oh, I don't know. The camera angle was kind of weird. I
Yeah,
couldn't
it
really
was
tell.
very weird. But yes, this is Jimmy. Sorry. So
Now we're
Nick's-
to Jimmy. Oh,
Nick's
Jimmy
guy's-
is the fucking
Nick's
worst.
guy's name is John, and this guy's name is Jimmy.
This,
think
all
I
right,
wanna
now
say
we're gonna get to
Johnny
a
earlier.
really annoying scene with Jimmy.
Yeah, so he's the scumbag who taunted Tina in the trial, and apparently he just fucking killed their cat. But
And-
Bethy takes like a
Yep.
stool, she cuts it down, she buries it before Grandma gets home. And then we go to a bar. And I can't because
This is
this
the
Jimmy
worst.
guy is the worst.
And he's a very, very, very bad actor. Like, I know we're
Oh,
gauging Nick Cage,
absolutely.
but he is so over the top. Jimmy is.
Over.
There's a fight. There's a boxing match on the TV or UFC or something.
Yes.
And he's just like overreacting.
We
like,
don't see
yeah, come on, like get the blood going, like knock him
Yeah.
out, take him. I got $20 on this guy. Like anybody else
I
want to take
got
this
20
bet? Like a
bucks that this
TKO.
guy doesn't last 6 rounds or whatever.
Yeah, TKO or
and he's like,
knockout.
and he's like 20 bucks, and then he's like, "What about you, asshole? You want to do it? Hey, fuck you, big guy," or whatever. And then like Casey is there, and
Casey, Tina's boyfriend.
yeah, and he's like, "What about you?" And Casey's like, "Well, is 20 bucks all you got?" And so he's like, "Fine, it's on." And then the fight's
This guy
happening.
loses.
Yeah, and that's where he's like, "Yeah, blood, fucking more blood. It's gonna go down." And then all of a sudden, like, I don't know what happens because I would think that by going down in 6, that means that it has to last past 6. But in like 3 seconds, all of a sudden the fight's over. Hell if
Well, I
I
think
know.
the other guy knocked the guy out that
Maybe.
he said was going to win.
Maybe.
But
I don't
anyway,
know.
yeah. So he gives Casey the money, and
Rips it up in front of him and throws it on the ground and says, "You better spend it fast. You think I won't do you like I did Tina? Oh yeah, I made you, Casey." And then he's like, "Well, you do think I don't know who you are, Jimmy? Like, fuck off." And so then Jimmy tries to grab a bottle and smash it on Casey's head. And Casey's just chilling out. Like, he's
Yeah,
sad.
Casey's
but
a cool
he's,
dude.
like, just chilling at this bar. And the bartender grabs, like, Jimmy's and says, "Jimmy, you don't want another court date." So that's the
Johnny,
thing is that I
whatever.
didn't know
Are we
if
calling him Johnny
Jimmy
or
is
Jimmy? No, you
It's
said
Jimmy.
Johnny is Nick Cage.
Yes.
Ah,
This is
whatever. Jimmy's about dead anyway.
So Jimmy is I didn't realize he was one of the 4 at first. I actually
I
thought
did.
that he was just like a 5th friend of these 4 guys, but
I realized
yeah,
it.
no, he's because I didn't realize that these 4 guys were just out walking around. now.
Yep, they
But
are.
they made bail somehow, so,
So,
like they're all just
Jimmy-
walking around.
Jimmy leaves after the bartender like stops him, and Casey just like has another drink or whatever. After Casey's done, he walks out to his car, drops
And
his
he's
car
drunk.
keys.
Yeah.
he's a little drunk. He opens the car door, drops his keys. As he bends over to pick him up, Jimmy comes from behind him, pushes him
Tackles
through the window,
smashes him out his car window,
through the window.
and says, "That's a hit right there." And then
Nick Cage.
Nick, oh, by the way, while we were in the bar, we saw that Nick was like in a corner booth just
Oh,
watching.
yeah, that's right.
He's just always there. He's literally like every scene that you have in this movie, some shit goes down, and then the camera just has to like pan away, and Nick is like standing there stone-faced, not making a sound, not making a reaction, but just watching.
And I would argue this
corner.
is not a Nick Cage film. Like this,
No.
the girl. What's the girl's actress's name?
I don't know.
The main
care.
girl, even the little girl. I think this is more of a
Talitha.
Tina Bethy film than it
Talina,
is a Nick
yeah.
Cage film.
So the little girl's
Um,
name was Talitha Bateman, and the mom's name is Anna Hutchison.
Because Nick Cage is not on screen a lot. He does
Oh,
not have a lot
she's
of
New
lines.
Zealand.
But anyway, Nick Cage comes walking up, shoots Jimmy in the head, one shot.
Yeah. So Jimmy
great
pulls
shot.
a knife on him, like pulls a switchblade, and is walking towards Nick. And Nick wastes no time and just is like, and like
Shoots him in the head.
Jimmy straight between the eyes.
So Nick gets questioned, and because Nick's a part of the trial and everything, and the guys
Yeah.
who are questioning him are like, "So you didn't know this was Jimmy from the trial or whatever? You just saw him last week." And Nick goes, "It was dark. He was brandishing a knife." And then they say like, "Well, you were at the bar." He's like, "I wasn't at the bar. I was at a table. And they're like, oh, so you think this is just a coincidence that like he happened to be there? He goes,
Yeah.
not a coincidence.
No, not a coincidence.
More like it was meant to be. Like if there is a God, or even if there isn't, I felt like I had a purpose.
And
to
then
discharge my sworn
cop
duty
says-
as an officer of the
cop
law.
says, and what was that purpose?
Oh, yeah.
And then it's mumbled to all hell, but he says, "Did it show my sworn duty as an officer of the law?"
I actually got it. I had to rewind because I don't
Yeah.
like subtitles.
No, I got the subtitles.
I rewound it a few
But,
times and
yes,
I figured it out.
it is.
But yeah, he mumbles a lot.
To
in this
discharge my
scene.
sworn duty as an officer of the law. So there's where like the God comes back into it, though. Like maybe
Or
if there
because
is a
even
God,
when he says, or even if there isn't a God, he mumbles that part really bad too.
I felt like I had a purpose, and it's like, okay, so he's the messenger. I guess it's like the Boondock Saints, but like not.
So the two
So,
lawyers are meeting
alright.
up with the judge again, and Jay is saying like, "Yeah, we're ready by next Friday or whatever." And the good lawyer's like, "Well, we need a little more time. Like, I'm not gonna be ready by then." And the judge does not give a fuck. And he goes, "Well, too bad. They've exercised their sixth right to a speedy trial."
And I'm gonna grant it to him. But like this judge, and so then like, and he's like, okay, that's it, we're done. And the good like lawyer, the lady lawyer, gets up to leave, and like the judge just like after he delivers his lines, just like stands there and like watches like to see like what the other two actors are gonna do. So this judge not only sucks, but the actor who plays him super sucks. Like
Yeah, and
he has
he
to deliver
shakes-
the worst lines. And
He
then
shakes
he
Jay's
just
hand.
sucks. Yeah, he like shakes Jay's hand, and they're like having like a little bit of banter back and forth. So like clearly this judge is on Jay's side, and Jay is very
Yeah.
charismatic. He's very charming. I get it, but like this judge could not be more biased, and it's awful. It's awful to watch.
Jay meets the good lawyer outside the building a little
They do
bit and
lawyer
just goes
stuff.
like, yeah, and he's like, Tina won't be ready for the trial by next Friday. There's no victim, no witness. That's going to be a hard trial to win. He's basically like saying, like, just, take this plea
Take a
deal that
plea
I have.
deal.
Because he wants
They'll
them to
get
get
3
3
years.
deals for a 3 years for a misdemeanor.
Yep.
Instead of rape, which could be like 20 years.
Yeah.
Minimum. And so then Jay goes and talks to the family. He's like, hey guys, I can get you 3 years. And the kids are not having it. Like, what? We're innocent. Like, you said we're innocent. I don't want to go back to jail, blah, blah, blah. And then Jay's just like, guys, if we don't take this deal, you guys are going to go to jail for 20 years. Like, you did this crime.
Yeah.
And they don't care. They will not
And
do
they're
it.
like, well, maybe we'll run away and we'll go to Canada. We'll do it. Which, at first I was like, they're going to go from the South all the way to Canada? Because, again, kept making me think that they were from the South. But no,
Yep.
they're just Niagara Falls. So it's just, like, right across the border.
You can run over there.
Anyway, so then it cuts to Nick Cage in his...
This scene is
like,
weird.
standing on the same like
is
area of the
weird.
falls where what's her face Tina was about to jump in, and I have here, hey, did you know that this movie takes place in Niagara Falls, by the way?
He's standing there, like, with one foot a little higher than the other, like, hands on his hip, like, looking like a badass. And then you hear an eagle cry, and the camera, like, cuts away behind the
America.
eagle.
We're on the American side.
The eagle flying
motherfucker.
overhead. It's such a weird scene.
Yeah. Okay, so then we cut to a tattoo parlor.
Oh, my
and
God. Hey, Brock. Did you know you wanted to get a pie tattoo?
Yeah.
He had pie one time, Brock. Instead of
Lloyd.
a birthday cake, he had pie cake.
Okay,
Did you
so
know that?
there's
Did he have a
Marvin
pie cake?
and Lloyd. Marvin is like the smart brother played by the guy from The Walking Dead, and Lloyd is his dumbass brother with the rat tail, a side rat tail, which I don't understand, but sure. And
More like Harry and Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber.
Lloyd is getting more like Harry and Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber. Lloyd is getting a tattoo, and he wants a pie.
Oh, what is
like
it,
a
Brian?
pie?
Oh, he wants a
Like,
pie?
He wants like a pie up on his arm, like above it, like
Oh,
a pie.
a
Like
pie.
a pie
With, like, squiggly lines 'cause it's
squiggly
hot?
lines, like the heat's still coming off of it.
Because why, Brock? Why would he
Well,
want a pie?
one time he got a pie for his birthday. Like not like a birthday cake, but a birthday pie. So he wants a pie because his mama used to make him birthday pie, not like birthday cake, but like a birthday pie. And one time he had the candles on the pie because it's like a birthday pie, not like a birthday cake, but like a birthday pie. And he didn't blow out the candles quick enough, so the candles melted. And you know what? Fuck it. He ate the pie with the candle still in it. It got wax
Guys,
on his
that's
teeth. I had to brush his
that's
teeth.
That's barely an exaggeration. Like, it's Pay the Ghost all over again.
Oh,
Oh, my
my
God.
God.
He would not show up about this goddamn pie.
And then, so Marvin gets a phone call, and Marvin's on the phone this whole time while Lloyd is rambling. And Lloyd's like, hey, Marvin, you remember the pie, right? Marvin, the pie, Marvin, the pie. And Marvin's like, I'm on the fucking phone. Calm down. So anyway,
Okay, but they get a call,
Yes.
and
Marvin got a
someone says
phone call
that
with
they have evidence that incriminates Tina.
yes.
Surprise! Guess
So
who sent that call?
Marvin, shh, don't surprise yet. Keep it a secret. Marvin got a phone call from a quote unquote investigator with Jay. Jay's investigator that says like he has evidence that can incriminate Tina, and he wants to meet them in a secret location. Well, that secret location just happens to be the falls. The Niagara Falls. That same spot that Nick was staring at earlier. So I don't understand what's going on here. Kind of confused.
Oh God. And on their car ride, the dumbass Lloyd is like trying to light a cigarette or something, and like or a
Trying
joint,
to like meth, I'm guessing.
meth or something. And he like drops the lighter or something by his dick. And goes, "Oh, I almost burned my dick off." Right?
He had bad luck with his balls. We try to wish every week. We try to wish him good luck, and he had some bad luck with his balls. He's
Nah,
like,
that's
almost,
okay. He can have bad luck.
I almost burnt my balls off, Marvin. Yeah. So Lloyd's a dumbass. Anyway, so they get out. There's a truck parked there, and Lloyd's like, and it's raining, and he's like, there's nobody in the truck, and Marvin gets out, and he's like, well, go check it. And so Lloyd looks in it, and he's like, there's an envelope. It's marked confidential. And so he goes to like open up the envelope, and I wanted to rewind it, but I forgot to, cause Lloyd fucking disappears. He gets shotgun blasted like 20 feet into the air over the edge of the falls, because they're right
Yep.
at the edge.
Yep.
It's
Yeah, Nick
amazing.
Cage's firearm is so strong that he goes flying. Like his arms and legs
Yeah.
are sticking out. Yeah, he goes
Basically,
flying.
it's the same shot from Arsenal, where like that dude gets shotgunned in the nuts, and it's like his
Yeah.
arms and legs are like all widespread, and then he gets shotgunned in the dick. This is the exact same thing, except with Lloyd over a waterfall, and not in slow motion.
And then he also shoots Marv, and he kind of like tosses him over the
So
falls, too.
he shoots Marv's like 6 times with a pistol, with a different gun. And then, like kicks his body and rolls it up over the waterfall. Okay. So then he pulls his hood off. And guess who this gunman is, guys?
Surprise!
Guess!
It's Nick!
It's Grandma!
Right?
It's Grandma the whole time!
It's Obi-Wan Kenobi!
Taking revenge for fucking killing her tiger lily cat.
No, it was Nick.
It's Nick.
always Nick, you guys.
Guys, he's always there.
Nick can not even be in this movie very much, but when it matters, it's going to be Nick.
This is what you wanted. If this would not have happened, I would have just revolted, because
The
this is what
press-
you want Nick to take revenge and vengeance.
Yeah.
Anyway,
The
okay.
press is all over this bad guy's house talking to the parents, and they're
Yep.
like, oh my God, did they run off to Canada? And the dad goes, we lost our son, that's what happened. And the
Because
mom just
Nick,
goes on a...
Nick left a map of
Oh.
hiking trails around the area.
Oh, I didn't get that
along with
part.
like some beers in the car. So he made it look like they ran away to Canada, and that was like the whole plan from Nick. So Nick actually
Yeah.
was pretty smart. Like they won't look for bodies if they think that they just left the car and ditched it and then ran away.
And the mom blames Tina. And is just like, it's that slut Tina. She drove my kids mad, and that's why they ran off to Canada. And blah,
Irma
blah,
needs
blah.
to get shotgunned in the dick too.
Right?
Fucking Irma. Anyway,
Bethy goes to the mall with Grandma, and while she's there, Grandma leaves for a second, and the last bad
a little
guy...
shoe store.
Yeah, the last bad guy sees Bethy and says, like, hey, you have to tell them that I was gone when the rape happened or whatever.
Yeah,
And,
by the time I got there, like I left
Yep.
or something.
But after he leaves, this guy gets a call from a girl from school, from a girl who's like a few years younger
so
than him.
No,
You wouldn't-
so now
you
we
wouldn't
go into
remember
this
her very
guy's
well.
bedroom, and he has a lizard, and there's this heavy metal song, and he's got black lights on in his bedroom, and he's like smoking, I think, meth probably. So he's one of those guys. Like, it's
And, hey,
really
Brock,
making it seem.
What music is that in
So
the background?
Here's the thing. We thought that Nick Cage's son Weston made an appearance in this movie, but as we found out, we kind of hinted at it last episode. As we found out, he doesn't make an acting appearance. He's on the soundtrack,
Yep.
and Nick Cage's son is in a heavy metal band, and one of the songs that he contributes is called like "Vampire's Lament" or something.
Maybe I'll throw a clip of it in here. Right here.
So
There it is.
I'm
What'd you
pretty
think of
sure
that?
That Nick's son's shitty band is playing this music during this scene to make this guy seem like a real scumbag. One thing about Nick's son, I said I was going to touch on it like last episode. It shouldn't take too long. His son's not doing so hot in the Hollywood scene. He's been like in and out of jail. He's been getting in fights. Like I just like saw like a TMZ clip that said like Nick Cage's son like got the shit beat out of him like on Hollywood Boulevard, and I guess like his athletic trainer was like mounting him on like a curb and just like ground and pounding him like and people were like going to break it up, but like the athletic trainer, I don't know if like this was his training, like maybe he was supposed to be in Why Him, where like he's just training with his trainer and he was supposed to get out of it, but his
movie ever.
trainer was just beating the crap out of him like in front of people. I don't know, it's weird, but Nick Cage's son is not having the best life.
When I asked Leah about like who she found attractive, she threw out Jesse James Decker. She also threw out the girl from Why Him, so she really likes Why Him.
She's actually she's up there. Zoe Deutsch is her name.
Zoe Deutsch. Okay, let's finish this off. So the last bad guy gets a call from a girl from high school. Hey, I'm a few years younger than you, but maybe you should meet me up at this hotel. Blah blah blah.
Which
why? And she says that
why would anybody like? Yeah, okay.
Well, she says she has more. Again, this is another girl who's like, oh, I have incriminating evidence against Tina, and her name is Lou Ellen.
Lou Ellen.
So the baddie
so if you
goes
meet me
to the
in
motel.
this motel room with she says too, like I have a daughter. So like,
yeah, that
don't
part
you want to
was
come
weird.
and meet my daughter? Is this to imply that this guy's a pedophile? Probably, but like didn't need to be thrown
was
out
weird.
there. But sure,
Because then right before he hangs up, he's like, yeah, I look forward to meeting your daughter too. It's like, what is going on? But guys,
okay. So then he goes.
guess
to this
who
motel
Lou
room.
Ellen
He
is?
opens the door with no key, which I don't understand. Anyway,
oh, she might have had it propped open.
I don't know. So
Guys, guess who Lou Ellen is?
Grandma.
Nick! Oh, no, it's not Grandma. No, it's Nick.
I don't know who he got to do the voice though. Did he get Tina to do the voice?
I don't know. That was weird too. I think it was actually Lou Ellen.
Oh, maybe he did just get like a random girl to do the voice. Anyway. Okay. So Nick comes at him with the gun, points it down, and says, sit. Right. And so the guy sits down and he says, right what? Which again, just like last movie, like, yeah, right what? So Nick tells him though, says, right, God forgive me. I did what I believed was the right thing to do. So this guy starts
guy
writing,
kinda refuses
and
a
Nick
couple
even says
times,
like,
but Nick-
finish it. And it's like the laziest, sissiest, like pistol whip that.
Yeah.
And he's got this
Like, the
tiny
guy
little, like
refuses.
snub-nosed gun, and he's just like pistol whips him a little bit in the face.
It was hard enough
Nick's-
to make me right.
Nick's hair is all askew.
Yes,
And-
that's what I wanted to say at this part. Like after the second time Nick pistol whips him,
Yep.
his hair fluffs on up, and
Yep.
it's totally. And you can see like he kind of like tries to shake his head to get it back down,
Nick
but
has to
he doesn't
invest
do a
in
good
some
job.
like some hairspray or some. You know what he needs is some putty. I use like a good putty. It's a good paste.
Yeah, my hair's a little too long.
It's
Like
like
my
a
hair
good
starts to
matte
curl,
paste.
so that then when I try to.
That's a sexy
Yeah.
little Superman curl.
No, it's not
Oh,
sexy. I
like
need
it.
it cut.
It is sexy. Leah, women of the pod, can we take a screenshot? Oh shit! I had like it's like Control 3 or something. Command 3.
Here, I'll stay like this.
I want
Yeah,
to take a
get this-
screenshot. How do I take a screenshot? Window.
Oh, where is it?
We'll take a screenshot.
View. Snapshots gallery.
Oh,
Tools, help, contacts, Skype. Man, I thought it was a lot easier than this.
Ah,
Screen options for this call. Nope, that's not it. Well, too bad. People are just going to have to imagine. To imagine dragons. Guys, Nick Cage, he makes the kid grab the gun while Nick is holding it up to his head. Right as the guy touches it, because Nick Cage is wearing a glove, Nick fires it into the side of his head, and he's dead. He dead. So Tina and Bethy, I don't remember exactly how this happened. Oh, you want me to get a little side shot like that? There we go.
there. That's cute. Okay.
Okay, so the bad guy's dead. Tina and Bethy, I don't remember how it happened or what, but like they kiss on the lips at one point. I do not like when 12-year-olds are kissing their
Did you
moms
get to put your
on
hand
the
on the
lips.
gun part?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
So I don't remember how that happened. But anyway, now all the bad guys
the partner tells Nick, and Nick just stares. Again, Nick goes into the station. His partner tells him like, "Hey, this guy just like offed himself in a motel room."
And
Nick just stares and drinks
he sips his coffee.
He's like,
sips his coffee, and the guy says something else. He sips his coffee again and just walks away.
"Yep." Okay.
Jay, the bad lawyer, sees Nick Cage outside kind of the courtroom or something and goes, like, I know that you shot them.
Yeah, well, he says, you think I'm the bad guy because I defend men that you think are... And he, like, leaves it hanging, and then Nick says, scum. And then Jay calls him out, and he says, like, yeah, but at least, like, I don't, I dole out, like, justice, not like this vigilante cop murder bullshit that you're on. And, anyway, blah, blah, blah. They have like a little back and forth, and then Jay says, you might need my services one day. And then Nick says, and I hope that you'll never need mine.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, fair enough.
And now this badass Jay lawyer drives off on a fucking Harley.
Yeah.
Just like,
because he's Don Johnson, dude. Don Johnson gets to do whatever he wants.
Tina and Bethy decide to say goodbye to Nick because they're going to head to California.
Yeah.
Bethy says she loves Nick.
Yeah, so
Bethy
they come to
says
this
she loves
gate.
him.
They come to this gate, and there's a gate in between them, like at the cop station. And yeah, Bethy says, "I love you," and John or Nick says,
nothing.
I never had a daughter, but if I do, I hope she's just like you every day.
Yeah, and then someone's like, "Hey, Nick, we got a call," and he just goes, "All right then, bye."
Yeah.
Like, does not reciprocate it at all.
Time's kind of running out on you having a daughter, Nick. But okay.
So
at one point though, too, like when he's with Tina, she's like, "Why do you even care about me? I'm like a girl that you met like one night in a bar." And good point. Nick, I don't think ever provides a response, but. And then there's more woman whining music of like,
all right, yeah. Let's wrap this shit up.
Deep breath. We're done. Was that cathartic for you? Fuck.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna throw it out there. This one's in a dogfight with Dog Eat Dog for my least favorite film.
Yeah. I'm not rating it cool. I'm not giving it
I
a
think
1.
I was so mad at Dog Eat Dog, and I don't want to like go back and relive that kind of anger. But
anyway, let's go. Okay, so tropes. I got no raw dog and pills. There was some fuck yous. Was there some fucks? There had to have been, right?
See, I don't remember. I didn't mark that one, but
Nick barely talks. Guys, you have to understand, when we say this is like barely a Nick Cage film, he's all over the promotion, but he, again, is like maybe in 10 to 15 minutes of this entire hour and a half long film. He
talks maybe like 8 minutes
12
of it.
lines. I'm going to say 12 sentences in this entire film.
He probably has more than 12, but unless if you're not counting the one-word answers and shit.
So I don't think he says fuck you, or there
are flashbacks. There's mumbling up the ass.
There's mumbling.
Obviously, Brock, is there abuse of women and children?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and rewatch it, I think.
Right?
He doesn't
there's
yell.
A hi and ya.
He never yells. But he does.
There's a hi and ya.
Yeah, hi and ya guy in the balls. There's no
I
taco
almost
meat
marked
because
a
I think
hand
he's
wiggle
buttoned up the
at
entire
one
time.
point. I don't remember why I almost marked a hand wiggle. There was like one scene where he like lifted his hand kind of weird for something.
No,
maybe not.
Probably not. He doesn't even in court. He never emasculated or called anyone to his face. Like he never imitated. Yeah, and he doesn't.
No, it was light. It was light
Okay.
on the only ones. And I didn't even get taco meat. The only ones I marked were flashbacks, mumbling, abuse of women, and hi and ya. Those were the only 4 I marked.
Yeah.
All right. Should I go
Guys,
first for Pete Cage? What's your Pete Cage?
Oh, my Pete Cage was, God, I have 2, but I'm just gonna have to go.
All right, let me go first then.
Okay.
I only have 1 because again, there's not a lot to choose from. I'm gonna do the part where he was questioned after
Good.
killing Jimmy.
Good.
Where he's just like giving these really short, like monotone answers, like not a coincidence, more like it was meant to be, and just like it was dark. He was brandishing a knife. That's my Pete Cage.
Like maybe if there is God, or even if there isn't, I felt like I had a purpose. And then you get the mumble part too, where he says, and what was that purpose? And he says, to discharge my sworn duty as an officer of the law.
And at the time of the shooting, you were entirely unaware that this was James DeLuca.
Yes, sir. No idea.
You saw him less than a month ago in court.
It was dark. He was brandishing a knife.
And before, in the bar, when he was watching the fight.
I wasn't at the bar. I was at a table.
Coincidence. Come on, John. You, Casey, DeLuca in the parking lot together?
No. Not coincidence. More like it was meant to be. Like, if there is a God, or even if there isn't, I felt like I had a purpose.
And what was that purpose, John?
To discharge my sworn duty as an officer of the law.
Well, and you're missing one more mumble because he goes like, if there is a God, or even if there isn't, I felt like I had a purpose. Like he mumbles a lot in that one. So that's my Pete Cage.
Okay, good, because that leaves room for my Pete Cage, which is the moment of the most intense gravitas for him, where he just really gets to like let it all out, and he's trying to save his partner's life, and he says, "Fight it. Look at me. Fight it."
Officer down. Start me at 252.
Oh, shit. Fight it. Fight it. Look at me. Fight it.
And I mean,
You
if
can
that
live
was trying to
emotion in
motivate
that.
me to cling to life, I think I'd probably give up too. I'm probably a
We've
goner.
seen Nick. Why is he not yelling in this movie? There are
don't know.
plenty of opportunities where he goes, fight it!
Yes.
Fight it! Come on, fight it! Like, why doesn't he do that?
Nick showed up. I'm guessing. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing with this movie, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time.
Let's answer the question.
Is he a good actor? Absolutely fucking not. He showed up,
no.
and he was so bored and so did not want to be there.
That's absolutely true. This is. I said it before.
And he's
I
an
think
executive producer on this movie. He paid for it.
These 10 that we're in right now, I think are far more boring and less interesting than the first 10 that we did. I thought the movies we watched before were better than these 5s and 5.2s that we're watching now.
Give me Outcast all day. Give me G-Force.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, clear. Well,
I guess.
But whatever. But like,
This movie was
I
bad.
can't tell you that I'll watch Doggy Dog again before I watch this one. But like,
Oh, no.
again,
Doggy Dog's still my worst.
If I had to re-rank them, I don't know if I would put this one under Doggy Dog.
No, Doggy Dog's still my worst. I'm giving this one a 2.
I'm giving this one a 1. If I could give this one a negative star, I would as well. Or a 0, I would. Because it's so bad and he does so poorly in it. Here's my point. If you told me this movie cost
I don't know how much it
$100 to make,
costs.
if you told me this movie cost $100 million to make, I would believe you no matter what. If you told me this movie cost or like spent 2 weeks to shoot or like 2 years, I would believe you. I have no like frame of reference, but it's the worst performance I think we've gotten out of Nick. And I say that
this one was
because like
bad.
we've said that
he
he's
was
seemed
monotone.
bored, but like he's had a yell. We got nothing from him. He made the choice to be like the stone-faced robot, and maybe he's the robot this whole time.
I wonder if maybe this was around the same time he was doing Mom and Dad, and he just exuded so much energy on Mom and Dad that like when he did
had
this
no
one, he's
time
just like,
for it.
I just gotta get through it.
He was
Yeah.
just shooting them both at the same time, like, yeah. I guess so. He's terrible.
We are now at 1 out of 20.
Yeah.
So I still feel like I don't know actually because the Castle period is what's fucking this all up. I'll be interested once we're done maybe to take away the movies from 2014 on. Castle period is, and this is what everybody says when you read the reviews from these movies. They're all like
downhill. He's
recent
taking
Nick
all
Cage
the
is just like he sucks and he's not doing well, and this movie is the same as all of his other ones. They're not good.
Here's like, so Mandy, this latest movie that's out, which is also like a wife gets murdered and raped, probably
Really highly ranked,
and
though.
like he takes revenge. Like, yeah, it's supposed to be super highly ranked. People are supposed to be loving it. It's blowing up the film festival circuits. Like, Can that be?
I think maybe we need to watch that one.
Is he going to be doing a better job in that than this? I hope.
It's at an 8.1 on IMDb. His highest one right now is Kick-Ass with a 7.2 or something.
But is he delivering? How is he delivering in that one and yet can't give me anything in this? I don't get it.
I don't know.
We
should see if that's playing, but when does that get released?
I don't know. I don't know if it'll ever get a wide release or if it's just going to be
really
stuck
even
in
with like
festivals.
Release date January 19th.
I think it might just be stuck in festivals. And then it'll eventually show up on Netflix or something. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, some housekeeping. Please follow us on social media.
Next film. The next film is USS Indianapolis, Men of Courage, Another Castle Period, released in 2016. It's a 5.2. It's some sort of Army film. I don't know.
Navy.
It's going to be shit.
Not Army.
Okay.
Navy.
No, it says Army. I thought when I looked it up on
USS?
IMDb or
USS
Wikipedia.
Usually says it's a ship. So
dude, I'm just telling you, I looked it up very briefly.
Maybe! I'm sorry!
Does it say Army on Wikipedia?
During World War II, an American Navy ship.
Oh.
So. Oh.
Okay, well.
I think he's stuck on a raft with 2 other guys.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay. I want to read the synopsis. Get people hyped.
Oh, okay.
During World War II, an American Navy ship is sunk by a Japanese submarine, leaving 300 crewmen stranded in shark-infested waters. That sounds like it's something. It's not nothing.
Look at the poster for it.
Yeah.
Do you see the sharks kind of in the water?
Yeah, they're circling.
Oh, boy. All right, you can do the housekeeping.
But, guys, if you would like, and we encourage you to do so.
Brock, I'm sorry. I just have to say one more thing. I'm looking at the reception. It's a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes.
The Indianapolis?
Yeah, I think we made a mistake going with IMDb ratings. Like, people are rating him way too highly just because he like Nick Cage.
It's draining us.
It is.
It is sucking the life out of us by
watch these movies. They're not good.
Here's what I think.
They're not.
At like 10 movies in, I actually had the thought of like, we really should have probably done like a bad movie, a good movie, a bad movie, a good movie, a bad movie.
That's what
like,
Randy said.
Like we punish ourselves and then we give ourselves a little treat.
That's what Randy said to do. All right.
need a
Anyway,
treat.
sorry, one more time.
All right.
You can try housekeeping.
Follow us on Twitter. We are on Twitter. We Gauge Cage Pod. We Gauge Cage Pod on Twitter. On Instagram, we are at We Gauge Cage. We need to start a Twitter feud against that bitch.
Oh, Hildy.
Dude,
I think we should pick someone like every other movie or something.
Ugh.
Like if someone...
That
this
judge. Oh, my God. I would...
What's the judge's name?
I'm going to go to Hollywood and find that judge and punch him in the face and just be like... Punch him in the jeans, excuse me. And just tell him, I object. I don't care what this judge's
to your acting
name is. And we're also on YouTube. So if you, don't want to listen to the episodes audially, you can.
I had people ask me about putting it up on YouTube, Connor, and no one's even watching it.
Yeah, Connor.
Honor.
You can get those jeans punched right off too. It's gonna be May. It's warming up. Those jeans are coming off.
Oh, it's shorts. Kick them in the shorts.
Oh, you're gonna get smudged in your shorts. I don't know what that means, but oh no.
What am I eating now?
Ladies and gentlemen, the best way that you can help us out with our podcast is to rate and review us on the iTunes app if you have not already. Thank you for those that have. We love you. We said we would give you our undying love. This love has not died, unlike 80% of the Nick Cage characters. Brian's trying to catch it.
Now?
More. I hope you're just popping more of those vitamins.
I'm super healthy, man.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, you got.
Good luck with your pretzels.
Dots pretzels.
Dots.
They got like onion powder and stuff on them.
Fantastic.
They're really good.
Yeah, I believe it. These Ritz. Shout out Ritz if you want to sponsor us. Your baked chips, sour cream and onion. Bear the bee's knees. Good luck with your balls, ladies.
Okay, good luck with your balls. Bye.
Good luck with your balls, gentlemen.